Hey YouTube, this is part 3 of our Ender 3 Pro build for $120, and we'll get to it right after this. Okay YouTube, we're going to go ahead and continue our assembly on this $120 Ender 3 Pro that I purchased. We're going to find out, whether I did buy a paperweight or parts, or if I'm going to end up with a functioning printer out of this. But I wanted to stop and pause for a second before I did that and let you guys know that I am offering up some toilet paper, some free premium toilet paper. The first person that comments, I'm going to ship 3 rolls of toilet paper to. Premium shit tickets. So if you guys are in need, let me know in the comments and I'm going to ship it out. Totally a joke. I'm not going to ship you guys toilet paper. But maybe if one of you guys can get me, say, 10 subscribers, I might be willing to ship you like a 12-pack of some Charmin Ultra or something. But we do have 3 rolls of premium shit tickets here available for the first comment. Joking. So let's get to all seriousness. We're going to continue our build on this 3D printer. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to attach our power supply or an LCD screen. So to attach our power supply, we're going to use these M4 by 20 bolts for the power supply. So I'm just going to set this here. Here, grab my Allen key. And go ahead and attach our power supply. And I am following the manual step by step, so it might seem like this is a little sporadic, me just going crazy, especially trying to trade some shit tickets for some likes, but I am actually following the video. I am trying to be serious on assembling this, so just so you guys know. Need to have some of our adult beverage. Oh, I love good cheap beer. Okay, so this is a steel screw going into, again, an aluminum case, so we don't want to over tighten this. Well, actually, I think this is a steel case, but it is really thin. This back piece on it, I do believe is aluminum, maybe not steel. I think the entire enclosure for the power supply is steel, but I think that this little strip going in the back is aluminum, so we do not want to over tighten this because it is really hard to retap aluminum and get a bolt to fit back in it properly. So now that we've got that done, we're going to go ahead and attach our display because that's the next step in the book. So the display, get my cord out of here. So this display can only go on one direction, but you have 3 different selections of where you can plug it into. So in order to get it to work, we want to plug it in this connector. So if you're looking at it, it's going to be from your right to my left. That's where we're going to hook in the connector to. So now that we've got that hooked in, we're going to use 2 of these M5 by 8 bolts to attach the display to the printer. And it's going to attach to this extrusion right here. Okay, and we're going to snug that up just a little bit. Again, steel going into aluminum, so do not over tighten. Okay, we've done that step. Now the next step in our book is it wants us to install our end stop for the Z-axis. So your end stop for the Z-axis is already going to have the little, I call them M-lock nuts because I'm into shooting and rifles and stuff like that. So to me, they look like M-lock nuts, so that's what I refer to them to. So what we're going to do is we're going to loosen these up just a smidge. And there is a little stopper to tell you the proper spot to put it. We're going to turn both of these upright like this so that they'll slide into this extrusion. And we're going to set them all the way down so that they touch our bottom extrusion. And once they're there, we're going to snug these up. If I had the right size Allen wrench. Still don't have the right size Allen wrench. There we go. So these are steel going into steel. So you can snug these up a little bit more. You know, I still would not over tighten these, but at least you're steel going into steel. Now you do want to make sure, which actually mine did not grab hold a bit. So I'm actually going to loosen mine up quite a bit more because we want those little T-nuts to turn, or M-lock nuts, to turn behind the extrusion and lock everything into place. I think that time they both locked. Yeah, there we go. It feels a little bit more solid. So again, all the way down against the bottom of the extrusion. Snug them down pretty good. There we go. Now our Z-stop is in place. So we're going to go on to our next step, and our next step wants us to attach our motor and our Z-rod to the printer. So here's our motor, and it is calling for two 4x18 bolts to hold it into place. So I'm going to find my two M4x18 bolts. And I'm going to go ahead and set my motor up here in its place. And then I'm going to take the Allen key, and I'm just going to stick these on in here and screw them in to the holes in the extrusion. I'm not going to snug up one at a time. I'm going to just get the first one just so it has a little bit of tension on it, and then I'll go ahead and start my second one because you want to have them both completely in there before you go snugging anything up. Okay, so I've got them both in there. I'm sure it's seated right and settled. So now I'll go ahead and snug both of them up just a little bit. Again, still into aluminum, so do not over tighten. And now we're going to put in our Z-rod. So the last printer I helped somebody assemble, this was actually pretty tight down here. So we're going to go ahead and loosen this ahead of time. Just the top bolt. You don't need to adjust the bottom one. You just need to check to make sure the bottom one's tight. We're going to slide our Z-rod down in here. Now that it's all the way down in here, now we're going to snug this up. And again, I hate to keep saying it, but you're going steel into aluminum, so do not over tighten. And I'm going to also go ahead and check and make sure the bottom is tight as well, which it's extremely tight. I'm actually going to back that off some, it's so tight, because we don't want to risk damaging anything. And now our Z-rod's all tightened up. So we're going to go ahead and pause here for a little bit, and I'll see you guys next time.